what are the Cowboys doing?
That's the accurate reaction. We have had recently in weeks, I say in weeks, geez, what a start to this video.
You can restart if you want.
Well, I guess what I could say is the last few weeks have had rumors building up with Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys. They've been back and forth. Negotiations did not go the way that they wanted to go. And over the course of the last 24 hours, news came out that he was being involved in active trade discussions with the team. They wanted to potentially move him somewhere. Come to find out, it is 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark being sent by the Green Bay Packers to the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for Micah Parsons, who is arguably he's very much in the conversation for best defensive player in the NFL. I know you're going to say Dexter Lawrence, but look at that.
This is what you traded. So, first off, hello. Second off, I'm actually going to defend Jerry Jones for a minute, not from a football standpoint. This is incomprehensibly stupid from a football standpoint, to be clear. But Jerry Jones has been in the news recently. He said that it's about the Cowboys brand. It's about an entertainment product. It's about creating controversy. I see what you mean, Jerry. I do, because the Cowboys this year, before they traded Micah, were mid. Their Vegas over-under was 7.5. They're probably going to finish third in the NFC East. They're probably going to be out of the playoffs as a serious threat in mid-December. So the on-field version of the Cowboys were not going to be the story. So you're going to milk it all off season. Are you going to trade Micah? Or are you going to extend Micah? This back and forth. And Jerry Jones decided, you know what? Instead of being mediocre, let's just be the worst team in football. Let's just suck absolute potato balls. This Dallas team is horrendous defensively. Even with Micah, they could not stop the run to save their lives. And yes, Kenny Clark comes in and maybe that helps the run defense. They drafted players to help the run defense, and maybe Mozzie Smith takes a year 3 breakout. These things were cool with Micah because Micah is one of the 20 or so best players in football. But when you take Micah out of the equation, you are asking Donovan Ezeraku to be a top pass rusher. You're asking Osa Odigizua to be a top pass rusher. That is a tough ask. You're asking these linebackers to be good at football. They have not been good at football, other than DeMarvion Overshown, who is out with injury at the moment. You're going to open your back end to getting ripped apart, the Trayvon Diggs and Deron Blands and Siobhan Revels of the world. Yeah, it's great when you can rush the passer and you force these wacky throws, you force quick throws, and they can get the Blands and the Diggs can get their heads around and catch interceptions. But now you just have torpedoed your team. So I get it. From an entertainment value, the Cowboys, when they go 2-15 this year and are the number 1 pick and get Arch Manning, absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. Congratulations. You have gone full Nico Harrison and you got high on the supply. Cooper Flagg ends up being the number one. Well, he was going to be the number 1 pick regardless, but the Mavericks luck into the number 1 pick. So Jerry Jones, from an entertainment value, great job.
I feel
you
like
have a 2-15 football team now. They suck, but increase that bottom line, baby.
The team on the field wasn't going to be the story, so he made the offseason the story for the Cowboys this year because they've always got to be in the headlines, I guess. I feel awful for Dallas fans right now, like just Dallas sports fans in general, because you lose Micah Parsons, you lose Luka Doncic. Granted, I'm excited about that one, but that's because I'm a Lakers fan. The Dallas Stars cannot seem to get out of the 3rd round of the playoffs to save their lives. I mean, it's just a brutal time. And it's like, you basically said it all. I would not be surprised. I think the only thing, I don't think they're necessarily going to go like 2-15, but I don't think they're going to be that great either. Like, I think the only thing keeping Dallas from being irrelevant is guys like Dak, like CD. So it's like, there's people there. It's not like they're going to like completely suck, but I don't necessarily see this team as doing better than like a 6-7 win season at best. it's not great.
Right. And, perhaps I am speaking in hyperbole saying they'll go 2-15 or 1-16 or whatever. But I think the under 6.5, under 7.5, that's a very easy bet to make. And I was lower on this Dallas team even entering the season. We did our pre-show prep and we picked all the games on the playoff predictor website. And I had Dallas at 5 wins before they traded Micah. Like, I don't think this Dallas team is particularly good defensively. I know they bring in Eberflus, and he had generally had a competent defense in Chicago. I know the head coaching stuff did not go well. This is something of a Robert Saleh thing or a Dan Quinn thing. Although Dan Quinn did have an excellent season with Washington this last year. But yeah, sometimes you get the defensive coordinator who is a little over his skis as a head coach. So he comes back as a defensive coordinator. Great. Offensively, you and I might as well be running the football for them. I give them credit. I think Tyler Booker is going to be a good player. I am excited to watch Booker versus Dexter Lawrence in a couple weeks. That will be absolute cinema, like I said. But you are putting an awful lot on Dak's plate for this team to be average. You are putting an awful lot on CeeDee Lamb's plate for this team to be average. You bring in George Pickens. What's the point of trading a 3rd-round pick for George Pickens if you're going to trade Micah Parsons? And, what are we doing? And
It's that's reminding me.
Off to me.
That's reminding me. It's almost kind of like down the same vein as what the Steelers did too. Like, okay, you trade for Jalen Ramsey, but then you give up their other cornerback. I mean,
you give up Minka.
Yeah, Minka. So it's like, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, in Green Bay, oh my lord, this Green Bay defense, this team, immediate Super Bowl contender.
Mm-hmm.
You and I were talking before, like in our pre-show prep. It's like, okay, the Packers before this trade, they still had a solid team. They probably weren't going to beat the Lions for the NFC North title, but they still have a solid enough team to the point where they'll be like within the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Now they might beat the Lions for the division.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be very, very close. Parsons just it takes it to a completely different level.
Yeah, this was a team that last year was very superstar dependent, and superstar being Josh Jacobs, who for my money is the 5th best running back in football, and Xavier McKinney, who for my money is the 3rd best safety in football, 4th best safety around there. He's in the Bates, Jesse Bates, Antoine Winfield conversation to be behind Hamilton, behind Branch, but could be number 3. I wouldn't really fight you with it. And the Packers have good players on their team. I'm not saying they don't, but it's a lot of Robins. They have the 2 Batman. They're like the Eagles. They have the 2 Batman and Jacobs and McKinney. And now you get not just a Batman, you get a super Batman.
Yeah.
You get like if Batman wasn't like his money and like the tools and the whatever, if he was like legitimately had like superpowers,
If
Superman also was a rich billionaire with crazy tech. Yeah, Parsons is a megastar, and that is a cascading effect across the rest of the roster that Rashawn Gary, who I have really liked at previous points in his career, he's dealt with injuries the last couple of years. I really liked him. I like him even more as a 2. Lucas Van Ness turned it on in the end of last season. Well, he doesn't have to be a 2. He can be a 3. Devontae Wyatt, he doesn't have to be a stud pass rusher. He can be an auxiliary piece. You have linebacker Edrin Cooper that had a terrific rookie season. And this says, all right, you don't have to be the best or second best player in this front 7. You can be 3rd. You can be 4th banana. And Xavier McKinney, you don't have to play like a freaking superhero to win Packer games weekly. You can just be a freaking awesome safety. And that really raises the floor of this Packers defense. And yeah, they have issues at corner. We can discuss that. We'll do our season predictions in another video. But yeah, I'm great trade for Green Bay. I know they gave up 2 firsts and they gave a $47 million a year contract.
It's worth it though for a guy like Micah Parsons. I fumbled his name just like Jerry Jones did during the press conference all the time.
Parsons?
Michael Parsons, yeah. But for a guy like Parsons, it is 100,000% worth it. So A+ for Green Bay. I'm gonna end this video by leaving a task in the comments for the viewers. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think the Packers' record is going to be this season. How far do they go in the playoffs? 'Cause I think they're going to make the playoffs.
Who knows?